Good afternoon, everybody. It's Brian Salter here with Salter Racing, and I'm just making a real quick video on doing a valve job. This is not part 3, so I wanted to tell you that up front. I will be doing that soon. I've just been very busy. Very busy. But yeah, details. Details. So what I'm showing you here in this video is how to drastically improve a cylinder head that is already pretty good. You know, you buy these heads from people like Edelbrock or Brodex, and you expect them to perform, and they, for the most part, perform pretty well. This head is going on a daily driven Chevy S10, it's a 91 S10, a little 355 that I built for this guy, and he will drive it every day. But he is a performance enthusiast. This engine will be a solid flat tappet cam, 573 lift, I think. Gosh, I can't remember the camshaft. It's a 1.6 intake, 1.5 exhaust rocker. I'm sorry guys, I can't remember. I think it's 238 on the intake at 50, and 244 on the exhaust, I think, and both exhaust is like 560 something lift. I got the cam a while back, so, and I have a lot going on right now with cams and engine build, so I'm sorry I don't remember it exactly, but it is on a 108, and we installed it on 108. It has a single plane intake that I've done a bunch of work to. It has a forged steel crankshaft. It's the 604 crate engine connecting rods. I think they're powder metal. But good stuff. Got forged TRW forged pistons. They're some old stock I had. I have no doubt at 9.8 compression with this particular cam and what we're doing to the heads and intake, that this thing will be really close to 500 horsepower. So it'll run really well. Really well. It'll sound good with that solid cam in it. But it's certainly going to surprise a lot of people. So anyways, that's what this is about, just showing you some details. Again, the guy's not paying me thousands of dollars for an all-out port work. I do have some of that coming up though, so if you want to see that done by me, then just hang in there, it's coming. But you know, we have to make a living, so I can't just give away thousands of dollars worth of work just to make a video. That's just, that's not gonna, you know, I'm sorry, I got too much going on right now to do that. So, hope everybody's safe. The weather is crazy. It is blowing so hard right now, really hard. Temperature in North Carolina, at least on the Outer Banks, is all over the place. It's up 1 minute and freezing cold the next. We've had winds blowing so hard here, the chairs are flying off the porches, which we're used to that. So, but anyways, part 3 is coming still, so hang in there. Please like, share, subscribe, please guys, and please buy a shirt or a hoodie or a hat. It's salterracing.itemorder.com. Now I have a proposal. I've been invited to another engine competition. This time it is the whole engine, which is really what you should be doing. It's really what I like to do. So the guy asked me specifically to build a small block Ford, which is kind of odd, but I love Ford, so whatever. Here's the thing. The engine will probably make in the neighborhood of, by the rules, I'm going to say It has to be a 20-degree head, inline valves, no angles, no canted valves. There is a valve lift rule. Has to be production. I can do anything I want to it as long as it's production casting. So it'd probably be somewhere around 406, 408 cubic inches. And it's going to make around 650 plus horsepower. Probably make more, but I'm just saying. I don't want to promise the moon and not deliver. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up. I'll be happy to enter this competition, and I'll be happy to win it. Anyways, gotta have confidence, right? I will certainly go to win the thing, especially when I have complete control and everything about the engine I will have worked on, touched, and I will be there to dyno it, to run the dyno, to test it, to dial it in, and I have no doubt that it will do very well. Here's the thing. I got a bunch of stuff going on, guys. Somebody's got to pay for this. So if you're interested and you would like an engine like that built for you, contact me. And if you would be willing to pay for it, the engine can be yours. The only thing about it is, it will only have dyno time on it. So I think it'd be like 5 or 6 pulls, maybe 7 pulls at most. Okay, that's all I need. We'll break it in with about 3 or 4 pulls. Then I need 3 or 4 more pulls to get everything dialed in. Okay, worst case scenario, 10 pulls on the dyno. That's it, and it's yours. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and we'll do it. There's no date because, again, he just contacted me about it. I said, look, I can't do this by March. I've got 10 race motors that have to get out of here, and I'm behind. I got heads to do. I got so much to do. And I'm working on some projects for other companies. We're developing heads for another company. Well, the heads are done, but I'm trying to put my port into their head, and I think it's going to go great. So anyways, just got a lot going on. I'm so thankful for that. I really didn't want to be this busy in life right now, but I am. So whatever, you take it as it comes. So yeah, if you're interested in that, contact me. And Mark and Greg, I have not forgot about your questions. And by the way, I know there are lots of you asking questions, and for the last maybe week I haven't responded because I have been absolutely just pulling my hair out. And see, I need to make money because I need to get a Bosley hair treatment done because I don't got much more hair to pull out. Anyways, listen guys, when you hear me talk about something on here, like anything, remember where you heard it, because I've noticed that some people are I guess imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and I guess that you have to, that just comes with the territory. But I don't know, I'm rambling, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long day. It must be at least, yeah, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got to finish up, go rest, and get up and do it again tomorrow. Hey, thank you guys. Subscribe, please. Buy a shirt or something. Have a great day. Hope you learned a lot. All right, part 3 is coming. Thank you. Alright, so I'm now at 50 degrees. That blue line is the old 45. And I'm just letting this run. Make sure that valve is as concentric as possible. And we'll also polish the valve when everything's finished. I'm going to leave my machine on because once I get the stone ran, I like for the stone to continue running so that all the glue stays to the outside. I've already dressed it with a diamond dresser and got it completely true, so I don't want to cut it off until I'm finished. Alright, so we're back to the Edelbrock head here, and I'm going to try and improve it. What I want you to see right here, here's your 45, and there's a little. It's actually really hard to tell. Really hard to tell. It's a very, very wide angle from the factory. And I kind of discussed in part 1 and 2 as to why you don't want that for maximum results. That's good as far as taking the heat out of the valve and longevity, but it's awful for performance. Now, one thing I'll tell you is these valve seats are hard as concrete. They are hard. So I had a new cutter made because I have cutters, and I'll show you one of them here so you can kind of see. These are my Sunnen cutters, and they're custom designed to me, and I've sharpened them and it just wasn't doing it. So I had to wait on my new cutters to be made. So hopefully it will do the job. I'm going to cut the seat here for you and show you what exactly it is that I'm trying to accomplish, so you can see the performance difference. And trust me, it will be a big difference in performance with this valve job. And then too, after we're done with the valve job, the blending and all that will be a part of that. So hang tight. Okay, so I've got the cutter centered up, and I will tell you, so far the head's been really good. A lot of times we'll move from hole to hole, and the guides will be completely many thousandths off. And so far, I haven't had to do hardly any moving. So hopefully my arm won't be in the way when I shoot this, but I have to be extremely careful because this seat is so hard, it wants to grab the cutter, and then you'll get a chatter. Which is not, you know, I mean, I can get the chatter out. It's just, I want it to be as perfect as possible. So, here we go. I'm just applying really light pressure, letting the cutter do the work. The last thing I want to do is chip the cutter or make it grab and, you know, any of that. So I'm being very, very cautious here. If these were beryllium copper or even a softer metal or cast iron heads, it would be a whole lot simpler. And not that it's hard, it's just that, not that it's hard to do, it's just you have to be careful with these new seats, and they are very, very hard. And it does slow you down a little bit, because I want to be perfect with this thing. I do have my micrometer set as to how deep I want to go with it. I'm starting to see the seat angle come into play now. Oh yeah, very nice. Let's take a look. Get it off the stand here. So there is my new valve job. And I got a little bit more to go there, but kind of wanted to get you to see what all is involved with changing the seat angles. It's very tedious work when you're trying to do, you know, a really nice job, which of course I always am. But there's a glimpse of that, and there's the original. Quite a big difference. And you'll notice my seat angle is right on top. And that's where I want it to be. And again, these are custom design cutters that I designed. It's really easy. I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys have their own cutters. I just draw up a print, I send it to Goodson, and they make it for me, and a few days later, I get it back. But that's how that works. All right, on to the next. All right, I got the metal shavings pretty much out of the way, and now you can see pretty much what the seat angle looks like now in comparison to the original. Quite a bit of difference there. I did decide to go with a little bit of seat angle width, because this is going to be a daily driven streetcar, and I didn't want to make the width of the valve seat angle to be less than 30, so that right there is like 38 thousandths wide. Nothing like the factory though. The factory one was huge compared to what we're doing, so again, quite a bit of difference. You can really see how it will allow that valve to flow a lot more air a lot sooner. Not only is it going to flow more air, but it's going to flow sooner. All right. Alright, so this is my final cut on my valve. We have transition from the face. It is now a 35-degree back cut with a 50-degree valve seat, and then the margin. And I did not put a 30-degree back cut on it because I found that with the 50-degree seat, a 35 works better. This is a smaller valve port situation. It's a 4030 bore, so I got a lot of low lift flow and mid lift. I got a lot of mid lift flow with this head. So we're picking up the high lift a little bit, and this 35-degree will just really help it all the way around. I have no doubt this little motor will probably make all over 500 horsepower. About 9.8 to 1 compression, 355 cubic inches with these little E Street Edelbrock heads. So, I'm not going to show you everything, but it's all in proper planning. Alright, I'll get it out of the machine here and show you what it looks like when we're done here. Hang tight. Okay, here we have the actual right out of the box Edelbrock valve. It's a quality valve, it's not bad. 45-degree seat. I'm pretty sure that's a 12-degree valve face. And then here we have what it looks like when I'm done with it. That is a 50-degree seat with a 35-degree back cut, not very big. I've done a little margin trick. Now naturally, when you change the angle on the existing valve, you are going to decrease your margin height, okay? See the stock margin height, and you can see what it comes to when we're finished. But that's okay because we got serious gains. The performance gains will be considerable. And also you can see the finish is so much nicer. Look at the grind finish that I put on it. If my phone will focus, versus Edelbrock's grind. Look at the grind marks. Now, that's not gonna hurt anything other than it will wear out a little faster because it's a rougher texture. It's just not as nice a job. You know, they're mass producing, so big difference. And these little things is what matters. I had an English teacher tell me in the 10th grade, I had a college English professor, and I was almost going to go on athletic probation, where if you didn't maintain a C+ average in my school, you couldn't play sports. And I was right there at being put on probation because of my English class. And the instructor looked at me, he said, "Brian," he says, "you do the big things well. It's the little details that get you. And if you don't get that right, son, you're going to struggle the rest of your life." And I never forgot that. I never forgot that. And I couldn't stand that man at that time, but the next year, it started kicking in and making a little sense, and he had all my respect, and I'm so glad he told me that. And I'm so glad they almost put me on probation, because I got my button gear and I didn't get close to that anymore. All right. One other thing I want to show you real quick. I meant to talk about this earlier, but I want you to notice this. You see the exhaust seat, how it was cut into the intake seat? Okay, pay attention to that. If you ever buy a set of heads, used or otherwise, make sure that the intake seat is the one that got cut into, because you don't ever want to cut into the exhaust seat. All right, it's quite fine if you got the proper seat. They're plenty thick enough to cut into them. That's not a problem. But always install the intake seat first, and then cut into it to install the exhaust seat. If you're that close, you know, sometimes you might not be. But do not cut into the exhaust seat. So this is how they should look when they're really close together. All right.